Hello, my name is Sабина Kubееwa. I am the teacher of the English language here at the Department of Foreign Languages at Taraz Innovative Humanitarian University. So the discipline is methodology for foreign language teaching, and the theme of our lesson today is audiolingual method. This course is for the third course students of foreign language department. So let's move on. So first of all, I want to say that we will have the warm-up, then I will introduce you the new theme, then we're gonna have some practice. I'll take feedback from you and give you your home assignment. So audiolingual method. Audiolingual method is an oral-based approach. It drills students in the use of grammatical sentence patterns. It means that audiolingual method, as you may see from the title of this method, audiolingual is based basically on oral-based approach. So the basic skills, speaking and listening, is primarily. Then it drills students in the use of grammatical sentence patterns. We're gonna have some grammatical patterns and we'll use some dialects. And then using drills, we'll use this method. So this method is based on behavioral psychology of the Skinner. So conditioning, helping learners to respond and correctly to stimuli through shaping and reinforcements. It also makes the habit formation. So the goals of this principle: teachers want their students to be able to use the target language communicatively and overlearning automatically without stopping to think, and further forming new habits through overcoming the old habits. So the teacher wants students to use the target language instead of the native language, to use it communicatively. So the dialects, as you may know, will make students communicate with each other, and it will help to use the target language communicatively. So overlearning will automatically without stopping to think. Students will be given the definite pattern, and there will be no time to think, and the pattern or dialects, they should be in the correct grammatical order. So they must be grammatically correct. And it will form new habits through overcoming the old ones. So the principles and characteristics of this method. So new material is presented in the dialogue form. As I have mentioned above, that new material will be presented in a short dialogue according to the level of the students, and the students will repeat after the teacher and use it further on. So there is dependence on mimicry, memorization of set phrases, and overlearning. So by repetition of the dialogue, students will memorize definite patterns and grammatical patterns and use them in their speech. So structures are sequenced by means of constructive analysis and taught one at a time. And structural patterns are taught using repetitive drills. As I have mentioned above, repetitive drills will help you students to use it in their communicative way and make them be more confident. This is the memorization of the given definite patterns. So there is little or no grammatical explanation. It means that teacher will not explain the whole grammar of the definite sentence or pattern, and grammar is taught by inductive analogy rather than by deductive explanation. It means that students will have definite patterns and see the grammatical pattern in the sentence and use them. And maybe after all they will face the rule and know more about the theoretical base. So vocabulary is strictly limited and learned in context. So teacher, by giving the definite grammatical pattern and the dialogue, will use the vocabulary which is necessary for the students. And that vocabulary is strictly limited and learned in context, not separately. Teachers cannot use vocabulary separately because this will not be the way we use the audiolingual method. So there is much use of tapes, language tabs, and visual aids. So teachers should use for audiolingual method, tapes and language labs or visual aids that will help students to comprehend. And great importance is attached to pronunciation. Why pronunciation is important? Because teacher will pronounce every sentence by him or herself. Otherwise, they will use the recorded tapes and other means. So the importance in the formation of the correct pronunciation of students is very important for their further communication and better comprehending and understanding. So very little use of the mother tongue by teacher is permitted. Yes, very little use of mother tongue. It is native language. In our case, they are Kazakh language and Russian language. So the very little use of it is permitted. So successful responses are immediately reinforced. So there is a great effort to get students to produce error-free utterances. So there is a tendency to manipulate language and disregard content. So the great effort is put on students to produce error-free utterances, and there is a great tendency to manipulate language and disregard content. So the audiolingual method focuses on speaking and listening competence, stressing repetition and habit formation to learn a second or a foreign language. So this method makes the learner understand the second language by memorizing and practice speaking with drilling from the people communication. So it means that all the dialogues will be given in the target language, whether it is English or Spanish or Korean, Chinese, Turkish, any other languages. They will be given in the target language, and by the repetition, by the listening to the teacher and the repetitive drills of the given dialogue or patterns, they will memorize and further practice speaking with the students and with the teacher. So let's watch the video. So here you have seen the video between two persons. So it means that this dialogue without any audio. So that's why you may see that the given dialogue should be given in the listening format. So you should listen to the dialogue and then repeat after the teacher. It means that, for example, in this our video, the salesman says, "Good morning," and the woman says, "Good morning," and he asks, "Good morning, madam. Would you like to have the cleanest house in town?" She replies, "Yes, of course I would." Then he says, "You need the Hoover vacuum cleaner." And she replies, "No, I wouldn't." He says, "Why? Why not?" And she replies, "Because my husband does the cleaning in our house." And he is very frustrated and says, "Oh." And you should mind that in the process of playing the dialogue, teacher should show all the feelings. When he expresses using the gestures, using the face, showing that some action is very good and some action is not very good, and you are happy with one thing and you are frustrated with the other. So in this case, when the salesman says, "Why? Why not?" He's surprised, he's pondering why. And she asks, "Because my husband does the cleaning in our house." And she shows the satisfaction, yeah? And at the end he says, "Oh," he's very frustrated, and all the things should be considered. And then after the repetition, students should make a role play. So it means that they will be divided in definite groups, and they will repeat and they will play the dialogue, one on behalf of the woman and the other on behalf of the man. So this is the repetition drills, and which will help the on the habit formation. So this is the feedback. So what is the audiolingual method? What this method is about? As we know from the title of it, audiolingual means that students should listen a definite material, and then he or she must repeat after the teacher, of course with the definite range of vocabulary and grammar, and then they will play that dialogues with each other. So they will be divided in groups, or they will play it with the teacher or one student. Or here we have two students. They can come and go just in front of the class and play this very game. And was it easy to comprehend? I think that is very easy. This dialogue was very easy and short and to play, and I hope that you like it. And I want you to memorize the principles of ALM. So you should use the target language with very little or no native language, and then the use of grammar explanation is not considered in this method, and this method can be used in your teaching. So your home assignment, you'll be given exercises to complete, and you should prepare your example. It means that you should pick up or just make a dialogue of your own and then work with it and take the challenge to explain the theme. I hope that this theme was very easy to comprehend, and you should of course visit our tigu.kz and check it out, our Microsoft Teams Methodology 3rd course channel. So thank you for your attention.